cannot sit like that. It's killing me. Back is fucking. I don't know why I can't sit like that, man. I don't know why I've written this down. So I wanted to. I guess what I put down here is review of Morrison's Gamston, review of Aldi Snenton, but I mean, I guess I could also just review all the other supermarkets that I've been to. It seems like a weird thing where I don't. I think that they're trying to move towards getting rid of supermarkets like that. I can't think of any other reason why the staff are acting like such dicks. And I think that it must be to do with them trying to move to, I think that they want everything to move towards they want everything to move towards like how Amazon operates. And I don't know if that's a bad thing. You know, you've got this thing of you've got this thing of like if we moved everything to online marketplaces, surely that's going to free up so much space. And in freeing up so much space, if what we want is a return to being able to make a much more green um, future for the world, then you would think that that is what we want is to, because why do we need all of the you think of the layout of a supermarket, right? It's set up to have warehouse in the back. It's set up to have a warehouse in the back to store all the stuff that's going to go out for the next day or the day after. Then it's set up to leave all the stuff out that they think they need for that day. Maybe that's topped up a couple of times. A lot of the dry store stuff is kept out and topped up as and when. But like they've then got to have all the space laid out. It's got to be planned from like an architect, like from uh, what are they called, architects. It's got to be planned for the amount of people that live in that area, that shop in supermarkets, and then it's got to be planned for the amount of people that are going to be walking the aisles at any given time. So it's got to have the space, the dimensions for the space of and then it's also got to fit with what people expect from supermarkets. So people go in and go, this isn't what I expect from a supermarket. A lot of people won't go in there anymore. There's a lot of crazy shit that has to be built into that sort of those buildings. You think that like supermarkets, how long have supermarkets been around? Like when did Gem start? When did Asda start? Like early 1900s or something. You think they really haven't been around that long? Do you know what I mean? Like how long have I don't think they've been around for too long. I think Industrial Revolution probably pushed a lot of farming and agriculture into this way. Yeah, bang on, early 1900s, yeah. 1918. Fuck, like bang on 100 years, 106 years. So you think that, yeah, it's something that if we got rid of, there probably wouldn't even be, there wouldn't be much evidence of at all. In 500 years' time, they wouldn't. In 500 years' time, they wouldn't even know. They wouldn't give a fuck that they existed. Oh, I just realised that I have to go fairly soon. I mean, I guess this is the downside of doing these videos is what they say is, so somebody told me yesterday, somebody tried to intimate yesterday that I'm going to get shot. Right, okay. I haven't even been posting these videos. I haven't even been posting videos up. Bro, I was until about 4 days ago. I was doing a video every day. But I don't really see a point in what would be cool is some sort of like, I don't really like Reddit. It seems to have allowed itself to be infiltrated by people that just want to antagonize me. And I also don't like a lot of the content that's posted on there. I think it's fucked. So I think that I'm not the hugest fan of the website, but I like in terms of and you know for me what I think that that might be is the same as the people that created the Panopticon, which now near enough all of society is based on. So the dude that created the Panopticon then spent his whole life after he saw how the military and the government used it after he came up with it, spent his whole life trying to tear it down. And I think that that might be similar with Reddit because I think that essentially what you would do like let's say if I wanted to destroy something I'd created, what I would do is flood it with people I don't like, right? So let's say I created a forum and what I wanted it to be was to like I don't believe in necessarily following every law, right? Because I think of like you look at it and you go, some of that is literally just built on trade. They don't want us to smoke weed because you can grow it at home. They're looking at how they can make money off people growing weed, right? So I remember like with uh, like knowing people that have grown weed, it's like, oh, you have to buy this type of tent and you have to buy this type of light and you have to buy a carbon filter and you have to buy this and you have to buy that and you have to buy that and you have to buy that. All of it fucking amounting to like, and then you have to pay more on your energy bills and blah 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 blah, right? Actually, I've known people that have just had low riders and other plants that they've put in their windowsill in like fucking autumn and they've grown absolutely fine and the weed's been smokable. So you think they want to like they wanted to make it illegal because they couldn't make money on it because you could so easily make it at home. And I think that, you know, you could say that, oh well, you can sort of do that with alcohol, but you can't because yes, I could go and buy 3 bags of sugar right now, but you still have to buy a pan of like bags of sugar. You still have to buy the yeast. You still every time you're going to make it, you still have to be buying something, right? Whereas with weed, you're going to grow the plant. It's going to give you seeds. You never have to buy anything again. Do you know what I mean? And that's why you have, if you have people that go, I don't really understand because I've just grown this plant in like close to winter. The temperature didn't have to be super hot. The same as what people do in the Mediterranean. The reason why you have so much stuff preserved in olive oil and vinegar is because they have so much stuff growing over summer. When it gets to that late part of autumn and you've got 3 months of cold, they pickle and preserve all their shit in sugar, oil, vinegar, right? Like, that's what they do. And you think, well, same, you could do the same with weed. That's why you make loads of hash, isn't it? That's why people started making loads of hash. But you think of loads of laws, and I think, well, that's not really to help me. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no moral implication in me smoking weed. There's there's absolutely nothing. It is not hurting anybody, and this is what I've talked about before with people within the church community. That if they hear that you're smoking weed, they will send people. They will like because they can only use people that are out of work to do this, which tend to be people on disability, people that have had previous drug problems. They will give them a bit of their power back to go and surround people, listen to conversations, they know the power of the mind, they know that they can extract information from somebody within their church that I talk to. They don't even have to get that information from that person. They can extract it from their mind and they can then sit there and they can then send 2 people to sit at a table near me talking about stuff that I've only ever talked to with one person, making me hate that one person, thinking that they've spoken to people about it, and then eventually going, well, no, actually, it's paranoia, right? But it's not at all. Now, like for me, I have no problem with breaking laws that are not designed to fuck me up, that are not designed to have any moral implication on me or anybody else. If smoking weed doesn't hurt anybody, and they have to spend resources, energy, and time. You look at these institutions within the church where they're like, They're people that think, no, they expend too much energy, they eat too much food, they shouldn't be exercising. There are a lot of reasons why we should exercise. As a people, a lot of people didn't just lie around all day. There are lots of people whose brains work better from doing exercise. You think that this is the same as like they get people and they put them in an office for 8 hours a day and they say, you need that, you need structure. How many people, you know, how many old people I saw in every call center I've been in that are about 40 stone have to walk with a fucking crutch, have got glasses on, they're fucked, right? And you think again, they want to manipulate just the same as sugar manipulates our responses, right? Manipulates us to make us think that we're happy. It's the same as how we used to work on agriculture so that we could provide sustenance for ourselves, right? We had to get up early in the morning because we had to take care of the livestock, we had to take care of the plants, we had to go out and hunt or search or gather food. So now they go and sit in a chair for 8 hours a day. And it makes people think that they're doing the same thing because they're doing something. And so you think they have people like me who go, well, that's what they fire me because I say this shit in the jobs, right? Like, I go in there and I talk about all of this. So then they fire me and say that I have a disorder. I now have to go to a mental health meeting. And they keep doing this shit going, we've got loads on you, you're committing for, like, no, because I've told the police that I'm being abused, manipulated. I've told everyone. What did I say to the motherfucker last time? I said the police, Nottingham City Council, Rushcliffe Borough Council, my old school, a bunch of people from this Methodist church, a bunch of people from St. Giles are harassing me and stalking me because they think I'm a problem, they think I'm fucking with their money. Like, yeah, well, I'm telling the truth every step of the way. If you want to send for me, send for me. So you have these issues where like we have these laws that are just ridiculous. You think murdering somebody, that's a problem, right? You think causing someone break, you think selling someone drugs like that, you think beating the shit out of people, they're problems. You think psychologically torturing people, they're problems. They have huge impacts on people, but they don't want to. They don't care about that. They don't want people to know that. They don't want people to know that laws aren't set up to protect people. They want people to know that laws are set up to protect the people at the top, want nothing to do with the people in the middle or the people upper middle and below that. That's who these laws are set up to fuck. And that's why they turn us all against each other. That's why you have people that are working class or poor looking at people that are middle class going, they have a bit more than me. But they don't give a fuck about the people at the top because they're the people giving them the dog treats. They don't care about the people running the churches. They don't care about the people owning the businesses because they're the people putting the dog treats in their mouth. So then they're going, those people are okay. Those people give me purpose. No, they don't. There's about 30% of this country that are nothing more than a fucking answer phone message, giving themselves mental and physical ailments constantly because they've been tricked into what they think is work. So, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, supermarkets. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think there's constantly like we just need to stay ahead of what they're doing. If that's their end goal, we need to make sure that we get our goal from it. Because more than likely, what they're going to do is try and turn this into some way of shafting us. They're probably just going to turn it into housing and flood the country with loads more people. They're more than likely not going to turn it into green space. What they're probably going to do is they're probably going to start 3D printing food. You think now, if we think it's bad with all the pesticides that are sprayed onto food now, we think that we're not getting the vitamins and nutrients from battery farm chicken and cows that look fucking anorexic and shit. Like, do you know what I mean? If we think that the pig farming industry is fucked, if we think all of that's fucked, why do we think they will make it better? Do you know what I mean? I don't think that they're going to make it better. If they get anybody that has any level of freedom of thought and they take their lives away and give them a disorder and they imprison them and only let prison guards listen to them, why would and then in order to take their information and make everybody's life worse for them, why would they why the fuck would they make our lives better from that? And the thing is, they've got us cheering it on because they're letting us think that they're going to make it better. They're not. They want population decline. They want stupidity. They want people to submit to them because that's for some reason what they think life is about. Just the same reason as just the same reason as what I was talking about before. It's nothing but a philosophy. Nothing but a fucking bullshit philosophy. You know, like this is the same as what I've talked about before. Like, why do we think you've got a bunch of people going, love, love, police? Police are the bestest one, right? Like, but then if you watched a 12-on-1 fight, you would not say, yeah, those 12 people, they're doing the right thing. You wouldn't ever do that. And this is exactly the same with what's going on now. You wouldn't ever look at this objectively, and this is why when I constantly say that like in the future they're going to look at all of this shit and go, what the fuck was going on here? It's because there are people that can look at this objectively and go, what the fuck? How are people going along with this? And they can do that now. There are people that are looking at this objectively now. And you know what they're doing, you know what the doctors, the police, the church are doing. You've got these people that you can detect in their voice, right, from their cadence, from their rhythm, from their pronunciation, enunciation, whatever, that there is very little intellect behind their voice. And and you know, this is why all they do is go, where, baby, right? That's their insult to somebody explaining everything that has happened, everything that's going on, where it's going, and how we combat that. Their retort is ED, right? Stop listening to these fucking people. Their retort is making fun of me working out or going, baby, he's being a baby, right? Stop listening to these fucking people. Look at the situation that we're in now. And the people that are going, well, it's okay, I don't mind. It is exactly what I'm talking about with just submissive people going, just get on with it. The fucking conversation I had the last week with the woman at the bike shop. I prefer people that are more working class because they're more street smart and they just get on with it. Yeah, just before that, she'd been saying that she wanted people to go out and protest, and the situation that we're in now, in the 60s and 70s, people would have been protesting in the street and they wouldn't have allowed it to happen. People that just get on with it don't go protest. People that just get on with it do not look at their lives, do not look at other people's lives, do not look at what's going on, do not look at what the future holds. They just get on with it. Those people don't stop anything that's happening. And you think that this is basically what the church say, right? That they will treat you as your dead, that they will go out of their way to destroy your life, because until you stop them from taking from you, they're going to continue to take from you. This is why you look at other countries and you think, they've crumbled their government. They stand every time there's a law passed, they tell everybody within their unions, this law is being passed, we need to do something about it. And over here, we've been that fucked over that we just go, just get on with it. It is not a bad thing to be destroying supermarkets, but they're getting people like us to cheer it on, thinking that they're going to do the right thing and they're not. And for me, what that means is we need to have people taking control of government now that want the right thing. taking control of industry, businesses, government now that want the right thing. And I think that starts with like a restructuring of how power is. It needs to be a group decision, or at least needs, if we think that it needs to be still a sort of pyramid, it doesn't need to be a sharp point at the top. You know, we think that when you're building a world for multiple types of people, there just needs to be a different way of approaching it. But yeah, I don't know why I'm getting, but I don't know why I'm getting shoulder barged by staff in Morrison's for what complaining about your insults that you're trying to that you think you're landing that quite clearly you weren't because you're sending groups of Morrison staff to walk up to me and heavily shoulder barge me in a fucking supermarket whilst I'm doing shopping. So quite clearly what that means is that your insults didn't land at all, right? And I have to say that that guy yesterday in Audi, after that security guard thinking he was G checking me, following me completely around the store, and then as I turned around, having himself G checked, that did make me feel quite. It does make me feel like there are people looking out for the right reason. And again, as I said yesterday, we need to stop turning against each other. And the annoying thing about that is people listen to me and go, he's inspiring chaos, but they don't want chaos for stuff to be rebuilt. They want chaos because they want it destroyed. And that's frustrating. And that's what's getting elderly people, that's what's getting people within these industries going, no, we need to not listen to you because these people listen to you and then they tear it down. But that's not what I want. I want philosophies to be torn down so they can be rebuilt and restructured and strengthened. There's a lot of people listening to this that don't want that at all. Anyway, I need to go to an appointment because I have mental health difficulties.